Hey, welcome, everybody. What's going on, Foxy? Foxy is like, Tisa, where are you? The live was at 5:15. I know I said 5, but I put, y'all said, where the hell is Tisa? For anybody having doubts whether I'm black, okay, let me stop playing. You guys, let's get into this. What is up, everybody? What is up? What is up, right? I'm not in Kris Jenner's trunk, honeys. I am here. I literally put the start time 5:15. I guess nobody checks the start time but me. Y'all, let's get into this because I had y'all waiting so long for this. Let's get into this. We need to actually talk about what's going on in the Blac Chyna trial. I actually got the exclusive filings to show that TMZ, as usual, tried it. TMZ, as usual, they tried it. But we have a few tricks up our sleeve. Let's get into the most obvious stuff first, right? Let's talk about the way they've been talking. Let me send this file to y'all, to myself, so I can put it on the screen. Let's talk about the way they've been saying that Blac Chyna lost the second time and that Judge Alarcon said, no, I'm not going to recuse myself, right? I'm not going to recuse myself and you need to follow writ of mandate. And like TMZ wrote this really vaguely worded article. Radar is giving a little bit more facts, but they're like, dropping it in. I understand that because I'm going to milk this for everything it's worth too. Y'all know I like milk and stuff, but look at this, right? Look at this. Where am I trying to send to y'all? First of all, for those of you guys don't know, and a lot of people think that if the judge says he's not going to recuse himself, that's the end of it. That is not the end of it. Now, I'm going to explain what's going on in the case. I'm going to explain this bombshell I got. It's going to come early, but let me just give y'all a little bit of background so we don't have to backtrack. Y'all know I love to lay down a gossip background, but this isn't gossip. This is actually legal stuff. All right, let's get into this, right? When you want a judge off the case, right, you have to follow protocol. It's like me. Something might happen and I want to take my case to the Supreme Court, but you can't jump to the Supreme Court. You first need to file in Superior Court usually Superior Court, and then it goes to the next court, and then it goes to the next, and then so you file in your first level of state level court, right? Or it can be federal court. Then if you're struck down, you file an appeal. Then if you file an appeal and that's struck down, then you can jump up to the Supreme Court if they'll hear their case. But under no grounds can you take a case straight from ground zero to the Supreme Court. It's just impossible. They won't even hear it. You must follow protocol, right? All right, you guys know that. When it comes to getting a judge to recuse himself, you must follow protocol. You first must file a motion for the judge to recuse himself, showing cause. Lynn did that. I have the motion. We're going to go through it. Even though TMZ tries to act like Lynn was just making up flights of fancy and making up stuff, she actually put a lot of meat in there that everybody is ignoring. And this isn't me even making a reach, because y'all know I love to reach sometimes. This is literally what is happening. You file a motion. The judge has 10 days to respond. A lot of people were under the impression that they filed it yesterday and then the judge responded in under a day. That's not what happened. I reported exclusively she actually filed it Thursday of last week. The judge chose to, I believe, respond to it yesterday. Now, if you notice when the judge responded to it, I'm going to pull up the receipts, but I'm giving you guys a thing. This isn't just going to be me talking. I'm giving you guys evidence, but let me just take you through, lay this groundwork. All right. Dina, thank you so much. Hold on. Let me say hi. Dina Nasser, thank you so much for the super sticker, mama. I appreciate you. Thank you. So listen, hey, Rim, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate that. So listen, right? Now, where were we? That's right, talking to Ish. So listen, the judge then has 10 days to decide whether they'll recuse themselves or whether they will say, you know what? No, you're being silly. Now, I'm going to get into how Judge a liar and a con truly messed up and made Lynn's point and case by his unethical, illegal ruling on it. I'm going to get into detail and actually give you guys the law on that. But let's roll it back. So the judge didn't issue a statement like that. He's been sitting on this since Thursday and came back and said, nah, I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry, it ain't happening. Now, I do want to say this to everybody. A lot of people that aren't familiar with law, and I'm not saying we're legal eagles, but people are saying it's over. It's over. Give it up. It ain't going to happen. It's over. It's over. Nothing is over. Do you know why? There are a million cases. Usually when you ask a judge to recuse himself, he doesn't recuse himself, right? And you usually have to go with the writ of mandate. Now, that's not how Judge Alarcon messed up. He actually did something that was very unethical, very illegal, and for me, in my opinion, very on brand for him, right? However, usually when this happens, it happens lots of times, and there are numerous times when the person is successful. You want to point because everybody was saying, oh my God, where's this at? You're just making up stuff, blah, 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 blah. And I'll be like, listen, baby, I don't have to lie to kick it. The truth is stranger than fiction, right? The truth is stranger than fiction. I bring you guys Exhibit A. Counselor, if I may be allowed, Exhibit A. Your Honor, I would like to call Exhibit A. So listen, one of the more famous cases that you guys might, just getting my phone charger. My phone's going dead. I know y'all like, girl, you had all day to prepare for this live and your phone is dead. All right, listen, I am not, okay. Hey, I'm Leo. Oh, you're a Leo. I'm a Leo. Thank you so much for being a member of the Tattletales for 3 months. You guys, if you don't know, I have a membership. It's $4.99. You can cancel at any time, but I do come through with a lot of tea. Sometimes it's certified court documents. Sometimes it's certified mess in the streets with the streets talking, but it's a good time. I think this member's only live that's coming up Friday. I think we're going to be dragging people. Make sure you sign up, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so listen. Oh, and also, if you guys are here, can you please hit that like button or even that subscribe if you're really about that life? Y'all know I'm trying to grow to 1 million subscribers, and I am about to a couple of 100,000 short. Can you guys please hit that like button, or if you're about that life, hit subscribe and your notifications. Hey, Barbara Whippy, thank you so much for the super chat, saying, hey, all, come in and hit that like button. That's right, hit that like button. Vanessa Diaz, thank you so much for that super sticker. All right, y'all, we buckled in. Everybody hit that like button. Let's go. Okay, so listen, one of the most famous cases that this actually happened in that you guys all should know about is, I'm literally looking at pictures of me 1 year ago. Let me focus. One of the most famous cases that actually happened in is the trial of Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. I bring this up because it's a famous trial, but it happens on a bunch of times where you ask the judge to recuse himself. The judge says no, and then later on, all hell breaks loose. This is very, very analogous to what happened in the Blac Chyna case, but even more so because, get this, Brad and Angelina actually agreed on their judge ahead of time. Hey, Tracy and them, what's up? Thank you so much for the super sticker. All right, let me just read over this really quick so you guys understand how easy it is and how likely it is. Don't listen to the hype of the media. Don't listen. It's kind of like, let me tell you something. The courts think that you're entertaining them with BS. The courts will shut you down very quick. The fact that this is being allowed to proceed lets you know a lot. Hey, Yasana Hartville. Oh, thank you. Said me and my daughter loves teas and tells. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you for the super chat. Okay, listen. Angelina and Brad, this is analogous to the Blac Chyna case, right? Angelina and Brad both appointed their judge. As a matter of fact, this judge was chosen by both of them because he actually married them too, right? He actually married them. They chose retired Judge John Oderkirk to preside over their divorce trial because they both trusted them, right? Now get this. The judge, the case went on, right? And the dissolution of marriage was entered in April 2021. There were new matters presented toward the court. Jolie filed a statement of disqualification based on an undisclosed ongoing professional relationship with Brad Pitt's character. So listen, the trial's going on. Well, the trial's just starting. The judge had to disclose things in his financial stuff. He said, oh yeah, this happened. When he did that, she said, I think you should be disqualified because like you guys have business dealings, right? Brim, thank you so much for the super chat. The judge literally did the same thing Blac Chyna judge did. He looked at it and he said, that's crazy. What's more, this is also analogous to Blac Chyna's trial because get this, the Los Angeles Superior Court denied Angelina Jolie's motion as untimely and said the new matters wouldn't give reason to doubt the judge's impartiality. We have an analogous situation, but Jolie's is more damning because they both agreed to the judge at the front. The judge disclosed something. Jolie was like, I don't know about that. I think you should disclose yourself. The judge literally ruled, we are not doing that. I can be impartial. I really don't want to hear this. Move on. Exactly what Judge Alarcon did. But it's not over, right? It's not over. The Los Angeles Superior Court denied Jolie's motion as untimely, said that he could be impartial. The Code of Judicial Ethics makes it clear that the judge has a continuing obligation to disclose the information reasonably relevant to the question of disqualification, specifically including relationships with a party or attorney. Now, what is this relationship that's analogous? With Jolie, she's saying, I think a long time ago you guys did business, not together, but very far removed. Lynn is actually saying that what happened with the clerk, that was a relationship, and what happened, and you're rolling it, you should have disclosed, and you didn't. But get this, right? Disclosure in late July 2020 of his participation in matters involving the counsel for Brad Pitt don't qualify as being made as soon as practical. So they're trying to say, listen, you already knew this. You entered into a trial. I already told you it's too late. Move on, move on. It's very analogous to Blac Chyna's case. However, get this, right? Hold on. But get this. It was later overruled. It was later overruled. It was later overruled. Do you guys hear me? It was later overruled. How did it get overruled? It literally said, right, that it created a level of discomfort that might justify qualification. Even though the Los Angeles Superior Court denied Jolie's motion, the California Court of Appeal, 2nd District, reversed the ruling, finding that the judge failed to comply with its ethical obligations. Literally, again, I bring this up to say, hey, Roman Solario, thank you. You said, love your brown skin girl from Washington, D.C. I bring this up to say that this is so, Summer Lauderdale, thank you so much. Thank you for it. Thank you. You said you love my work ethic channel. I'm glad. Thank you. You guys notice I try to bring you guys tea every single day, and not just once or twice, but as much as I can, So listen, this is so analogous to Chyna's case. Not only that, they said the same thing. You brought it up too late, Angelina. You did this, you did that. The whole trial happened. As it happens, Rob and Chyna's trial is going to proceed. That still doesn't mean anything because just like Jolie, the whole trial proceeded. The judge literally said, one, the kids couldn't testify, which was weird, and also gave Brad Pitt custody. Now, we're not going to get into whether Brad Pitt deserved custody or not. My point is, Angelina then went with her writ of mandate up to the Court of Appeals in California, and the Court of Appeals came back, overruled the case, and said the judge should have recused himself from the start. I don't think you guys understand how much, just because the judge says, I ain't going nowhere, if they do something that is highly unethical, highly unethical, they will be removed and the case will be overturned. You guys didn't know that, but Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie have to go back for custody because the whole ruling was overruled, just like her lawyer did, what Blac Chyna did at the start of trial, say, I don't think you should be on this case. You need to recuse yourself. So you guys should actually know that it is 100% very, hey, what's up, Reggie Greg Blanchard? Go ahead and follow Reggie Greg Blanchard on Twitter. Twitter's a wild place. Do you know that this woman, right, literally came on Twitter and literally said that I can't talk to a black man about being oppressed in his heritage because I need to be, and then accused me of blackfishing. Yes, it happened on Twitter. It happened on Twitter. Now, let's get into this. So you guys already know, and I thought it was important to know, it 100% happens all the time. The fact that the Kardashians and the media are trying to spin it into something else, it boggles my mind. Now, let's get into what the Kardashians are actually trying to spin. Let's pull this up, right? Because there's a few things that I need to read. I have my notes on my phone. Let me just read from the phone, right? So that way we don't have to do anything special. Now, the first thing you guys need to know is 100% there is a media blackout on what's happening with Blac Chyna. If you guys don't believe it, it 100% is. There is literally, right? There is literally right now as we speak, there is literally a ban on anybody hashtagging Blac Chyna on Instagram. Now, if you guys don't know, this is the same Instagram that literally did a 24-hour ban on Kanye West for him saying some words about Trevor Noah. Now, if you know, they were sitting on ready for him, but the Kardashians are super influential on Instagram. And on top of that, they will do whatever they need to do to stay on top. Now, right? Let's get into this hashtag. Let's get into this ban. I'm just pulling this up right here so you guys can see it. Okay, for God's sakes, where is it? Hold on. Oh, here we go. This is the ban that if you go on Instagram, you will see when it comes to Blac Chyna. This hashtag is hidden. Posts for Blac Chyna. Sorry, let me reverse that. This hashtag is hidden. Posts for Blac Chyna have been limited because the community has reported some content that may not meet Instagram's community guidelines. That's right, guys. This was literally screenshotted off of Instagram. Posts for Blac Chyna have been limited because the community has reported some content that may not meet Instagram's content guidelines. Now, it has been long assumed that Instagram was actually banning or shadow banning Blac Chyna. The fact that anyone with a Blac Chyna hashtag cannot literally talk about anything is wild and crazy. It's just wild and it's crazy. So that's just already the first drop in the bucket. I know people be coming over here and be like, oh my God, conspiracy theory, this and that. But you guys, it's actually happening in broad daylight. And nobody's saying that it's a massacre. Nobody's saying that, like, you know, the world's burning down. But I think it's important that we recognize it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? Now, let's also get into how Judge a liar and a con, before we actually get into the complaint, how Judge a liar and a con completely messed up, right? Here it is. Here it is. I've talked to several legal eagles. They all are of the same opinion. It's not so surprising. The not so surprising irony with a judge, a liar, and a con, right, is that by making the emergency writ to the Second District Court of Appeal way stronger by violating California law by the disqualifications for cause. It is sweet irony that by Judge a liar and a con trying to play Blac Chyna and allegedly do the biddings of the higher ups and whatnot, or whatever he is into, Whatever his beef is with Lynn, because Lynn actually goes into detail in the complaint. I'm going to get into that. Whatever his beef is with Lynn, he literally made her emergency writ even stronger by his conduct. Yasiana Hartfield, thank you for becoming a Tattletale member. Y'all, it's only $4.99. Summer's coming. Don't forget Grubhub, forget Deliveroo, forget all that. Man, what you need to do is give me that $4.99 and work on your swimsuit body. I know what y'all say is, shut up, girl. You need to work on yours first. I'm working on it. Now get this. Why did he mess up so much? And this is directly from California legal law. I'm just going to speak in plain terms. You don't get, right? You don't get to strike the moving party statement of disqualification and submit a verified answer. If you guys don't know, basically, Judge Alarcon acted like he was king of the land, literally going up in front of somebody and being like, "Mother, may I?" No, you may not. There is rules and protocol. Now get this. If you strike a moving party statement of disqualification, that needs to be submitted to another judge to get a verified answer. Or if you are the judge looking at the statement of disqualification, that's to get the judge moved off, and you strike it for whatever reason, another judge must review it and actually give an answer on whether they think it's solid. It's one or the other. One judge cannot do both. And if Judge Alarcon actually had, I think he's going to the same law school Kim is. No shade to anybody that's actually going a non-traditional route to be a lawyer. But all jokes aside, he was appointed. He didn't get there on merit. His father was rich and powerful. He was appointed. Now he's a judge. He does not know the law. If Judge Alarcon had followed the law, a different judge would now be reviewing the verified statement of disqualification and Judge Alarcon's verified answer and issue on ruling. Judge Alarcon did both when he was supposed to do one or the other. So even though he is a judge and he did that, and this is the thing about the legal system, you think that there are guardians standing there being like, you cannot do that. Not true. What happens is people always try it, but that's why there's a court of appeals. That's why there's a mandate. You have to formally go and be like, no, he tried it. Get him. There's no internal mechanism that automatically seizes people when they try it. You have to bring it to the attention. Judge Alarcon, by literally striking the statement of disqualification and submitting the verified answer, you literally broke California law. It's either one or the other. You can't rule on both. That's like asking someone, did you eat the cookies? You take me to court to see that I eat the cookies. And then I'm sitting there as the plaintiff being like, I didn't eat the cookies. No, I'm the defendant being like, I didn't eat the cookies. And I then get up from the defense stand and walk over to the judge's stand and says, after looking at this long and hard, we have decided Tisa didn't eat the cookies. And you're standing there like, yo, you can't do that. I'm literally suing you for eating the cookies. You cannot be the judge on your own case that I'm suing you for. That's essentially, basically, to break it down in layman terms, what Judge Alarcon did in that ruling when Blac Chyna asked him to remove himself from the case. And the fact that TMZ, the fact that Radar Online, the fact that the Mail, the fact that the Sun, the fact that no one is picking up on this, the fact that everybody is staying mum, the fact that there is a block on any hashtag with Blac Chyna, the fact that Ray J literally blew up the Kardashian spot. And listen, besides YouTube, have you really read about it? I think it was on the blogs for one day and then it went away. You guys, do you see what is going on? Now, I will say this, right? Like everything, the law is a different game than social media. In social media, you can say what you want. You can do what you want. Honestly, you can. Even my page is opinion, right? You can say what you want. You can do what you want. And if you say or do the wrong thing, within 24, 48, at the most 72 hours, maybe if you do some Harvey Weinstein, 2 weeks, and then the news cycle blows on to something else. Things are bought, right? Bought, and things are bought, things are brought up, and things blow over. You guys, there are 1,017 people in this chat, and knowing y'all, I probably only got 36 likes. Can y'all please hit the like button if you like the information I'm giving, or if it's not your first time, or if it is your first, you know what? please just hit the like button. I'm trying to grow on YouTube. I want more content creators like me and myself up on YouTube. If I want to get to 1 million subs, I have a long way to go. But if y'all can do it, I would be very, very greatly appreciated. Now, listen, right? Where was I? So when it comes to what's going on, I get it. The TMZs, the radars, the neighborhood talk, no shade to any of them, because we're all in the same game. I don't mean to disrespect anyone, but I will say this. It's a different game to get the court of public opinion on your side as opposed to the game that you play in the legal system. The fact that TMZ and Radar and all these places are saying it's over, it's done. The fact that y'all read something off a blog or Instagram, and no shade to anyone that does, because nobody has time to follow this except for me. This is my job and a few other people. It's my job. Y'all are busy actually working and like getting money other ways. That doesn't mean anything. TMZ can try to play her. Radar can try to play her. All the places that are paid off can try to do what they want. But at the end of the day, that writ of mandate is going to be filed, right? I think Blac Chyna has 10 days to file the writ of mandate. That writ of mandate is going to be filed, and the California Court of Appeals will look over it and look and see what wrongdoing or right doing was done. But I get that in Instagram and a day of this, a day of that. People like just to put sound bites out. People like to do this. People like to do that. But at the end of the day, all this noise doesn't mean anything because there are rules and procedures. The thing is, the Kardashians know this. They know this. And that's why they're trying to make all this noise, because we're about to also get into what happened with the juror and how the jury foreman was literally speaking on things that he don't know nothing about. He was speaking on things that he didn't know anything about, but thank God I'm here because I did some research and I know how he didn't know anything about it, right? Mama Love, thank you so much for the super chat. You said this is exactly why I love me some Tisa. You stay with the facts and receipts no matter who it is, okay? You know I love a good receipt, even if I'm literally pulling a receipt out on somebody's granddaddy that's been cheating and creeping for a year. You know I love a receipt, whether it's a legal receipt or whether it's an Instagram receipt. You know I'll come up. I'm that friend that be sitting in the cut like, this him? I'm literally that receipt, that friend that be sitting in the cut like, is this him? Is this him? Is that no? But what I really want to know is this him? Let's go. Hey, Lena Miller, thank you so much for joining the Title Tells. You guys, it is $4.99. You guys can join. We also have super thanks. I don't know what that is yet, but but YouTube's telling us to promote it. And also Latasha Smith, thank you so much for the super chat. Who else am I missing? Oh, listen. Reggie Greg Blanchard, a member of 7 months. What's up, Reggie? Said, I can't believe people still come for your races if you weren't Black. So weird. Let me tell you something, Reggie. Not only did she have the nerve to tell me I wasn't Black, she had the nerve to tell me I was blackfishing. And then when people started dragging her, being like, she's Black, right? She literally then decided to give me, to still say, so what? You're still racist, and then proceeded to give me a lecture on what racism was toward Black people. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. I said, this is Karen through and through. Oh, thank you, Nerva, for being a member for 8 months. Thank you. I love you too, Nerva. We've been rocking together for so long. You've been putting up with me for way too long. You and Reggie. And I off-key singing. But let's get back into the trial, right? And not how literally somebody like, who is going to give a Black woman a lecture on what racism is and how to be more sensitive to Black people? I was like, if you don't get out my face, but anyway, let's get this, right? Let's get back into this. So basically, what they're saying is, in summary, Judge a liar and a con is the fox who anointed himself to guard the chicken coop. He violated California law by striking plaintiff's verified statement of disqualification and at the same time, right, filing a one-page verified answer that was required to be reviewed by a different judge. This is the type of corruption we're working with. This is the type of thing that Blac Chyna is up against. This is the type of thing that it pains me to say, but I feel like money 100% can buy. Tamara Whitehurst, thank you so much for joining the Tattletales. Welcome, 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 welcome. And also, Marie M., you said, love your vibe, Tisa. I hope your channel blows up. You and me both, girl. Speak it into existence. No one hopes more than me. Well, maybe my mommy and my daddy. I think my parents hope my channel blows up more than me, but just a little bit more, okay, right? Now get this. The judge had up to 10 days. Now let's get into the actual logistics, and then I'm going to start going through the complaint, all right? But let's just get down, right? Listen. So listen, the judge had up to 10 days to respond. The way the system works, the judge has the choice. He decided to keep the case and move forward with it. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. However, and let's not forget, the case is going to move forward. It's going to be Rob, the judge, and the defense counsel all gunning for win. And here's the thing. Rob doesn't have much money. He does not have much money. So it's not going to be a big award. The defense is going to say that Rob's phone was used by somebody else. Again, this is all hearsay and BS, right? You need to remember, I think it was a People magazine article from 2018 where Kim Kardashian actually said that her brother is a POS and that her brother posted those pictures of Chyna. All right. Now, I'm sure they're going to go into the whole, I don't remember saying that, all this other stuff, but this is what's going on, right? Now, let's look at Lynn's official statement. This is what she released to all media outlets, right? One of my reporter friends actually sent this over. Michael Rose, that's the Kardashian attorney. Hey, Rim, you said, love your lives, Tisa. Are you planning to cover also real time the new Chyna court case versus Rob Kardashian? Yes, I am covering the new court case because it's so interesting to me, even though I'll be honest with y'all and I'll keep it 100. This case will go on. Lynn is going to file a writ of mandate, right? To actually get this. The reason why the case is going on, because when you file a writ of mandate, it could take up to 1 calendar year from the date you filed for them to actually rule on it. So that's why this case, this is the same thing with Angelina. She said, no, I want you recused. The judge is like, I ain't going nowhere. The whole case happened. They found in Brad Pitt's favor. Months passed. Almost a whole year passed. And then the Superior Court finally got to her writ of mandate. Because don't forget, they're looking over the whole state's writ of mandate. So it's like all the lawyers that have a problem with the judge are all filing stuff. So it's literally like when they get to you, they get to you, right? When they finally got to Angelina Jolie's case, it was almost a year later after, well, not a year, but a lot, 5, 6, 7, 8 months later from when she had to share custody with Brad. They literally said, the judge messed up. You shouldn't have did that. That was unethical. They overturned the ruling. And now Brad and Angelina got to go to a new case. So just like the Kardashians, Brad thought he was like crip walking. He thought he was crip walking out of that, like, yeah, in her face, like, And then a year later, Angelina was like, what was you saying? I'm sorry. What was you saying? What was you saying? What was all this? What was all this? Where was it? Right? So again, the trial will continue. Lynn is going to probably do her best. The writ of mandate probably will be filed sometime this week coming up. Lynn will do her best, but at the end of the day, everything will get overturned, because even the fact of when he refused to disqualify himself, he violated California law even in that. He violated California law even in that. What's up, the Atlantic Creole? You said, hey, Tisa, you're like the favorite cousin that always has good food to eat and gossip to listen to. That is my house. That is my house in the cut. Like, is this them? Is this them? Is this them? Come on, let's go through the Instagram. Literally, right? Listen, also, you guys, right now there's 1,060 people in the room. Can we please get into 1,000 likes? Right now I'm at 700 likes. Listen, I don't want to put pressure on y'all. If I could do voodoo and mind control to make you press that like button, I would. And then walk to the ATM. No, I'm joking. Hey, that's right. Nation Young, you said everyone looking but no likes. Ain't that? Feel like putting Nicki Minaj on. Looking as, Okay, so let's get into this, right? Now, this is the official statement, and then we're going to get into it. Michael Rhodes was the intended benefactor of Judge Alarcon's failures to discipline him for blatant and serious ethical breaches and allowing his clients, the Kardashian-Jenners, to make unlawful ex parte contact with the court clerk, and for violating a court order by showing nude photos of the plaintiff, that's Chyna, right, to her during key cross-examined testimony. It is not surprising at all that Mr. Rhodes filed an unauthorized opposition to Angela's verified statement of disqualification in his shameful and frivolous attempt to keep the judge who was unlawfully biased in his client's favor on the case. That's right. Not only did the judge mess up and literally disqualify, like basically say no to your statement, but then the separate judge is supposed to review whether the judge had a right to say no. He didn't even pass it over to the second judge. He literally said, and that was perfect work. Again, it's supposed to be two judges. The judge you're asking to recuse himself, and it's going to be the second judge. That's a judge that's supposed to look over and see if the judge has a right not to recuse himself. That Judge Alarcon made himself both. And on top of that, Michael Rhodes, that's a Kardashian attorney, filed an unauthorized opposition to Angela White's verified statement of disqualification. That it was unauthorized, he did not have a right, and he literally did there and didn't assist for Judge Alarcon because they are shaking that he will be removed from Rob's case, and they are shaking that the judgment will be either overturned, right? Because there's reversible error. I talked about that last thing, or the judgment will be overturned. Forget about an appeal. It looks like it might be overturned. Why, Breezy? Thank you, thank you, thank you. You said you love my energy. And also, Naisha Young, thank you so much for the super chat. Everybody looking, no likes, but I got a $20 super chat. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for the super chat. Appreciate you guys. And Why Breeze, thank you so much for the super chat. Like that. I'm trying to go on a summer diet, but I think I might get some bubble tea. I'm addicted to bubble tea, if y'all don't know. And those little rice balls, nigiri rice balls, the spicy tuna ones or the salmon ones with the chili oil. Ooh, so good. Anyway, y'all just bought me my dinner tonight. Thank you. So anyway, now let's get into this, right? There was an issue where the jury foreman came out and gave a statement to Rolling Stones, and they don't realize that the jury foreman is actually messing up Michael Rhodes' case, because the jury foreman literally said one of the reasons they didn't give Chyna any money is because they felt like if she had cheated the IRS, right, why should they give her money? And a lot of people have been like, yeah, she's gonna get jailed. She don't deserve anything. You owe the IRS money. One, this strengthens Lynn's case because one, it don't matter if you owe the IRS money. What me owing the IRS money had to do with you owing me money? If anything, the money you pay me can go to the IRS. I know the IRS is sitting there like, well, how we get into it? Because we want everybody to give her money so we can get ours. But you also need to know this, and this is a very, very important thing. Blac Chyna is not in trouble with the IRS. The IRS has no qualms. For those of you guys that are business owners or even just regular tax individuals, you can literally file for up to 3 years of not filing taxes. Now, it's an extension, but you have 3 years. If you're a business owner, it might even go a little further. But even if she owed the IRS $1 million, which she did not, the judge allowed Michael Rhodes to make clearly false and defamatory statements in closing and also, I believe, in opening arguments. He literally said that Blac Chyna violated some court order when it came to showing her income for her financial records. That was an outright lie. Michael Rhodes knew it. Lynn Chiani knew it. The judge knew it. When Lynn Chiani objected, the judge literally let that stay in. He let it stay in. You are not allowed to tell lies in a court of law, and especially as a legal profession. And when everybody knows it's a lie, that lie must be stricken from the record, and jury must discount it. He never told the jury to discount it. He said there was no need. 2, right? He literally also, the fact that he allowed Michael Rhodes, the Kardashian attorney, to say that Blac Chyna was in trouble with the IRS or owed the IRS or was a tax fraud, and the judge let that stand. And when Lynn was like, Your Honor, they can't do this, the judge basically was like, I'll allow it. Move on, move on, move on. This was critical in them saying that even though, right, it was critical in them saying, right, listen, it was critical. It was critical. Rem, thank you so much for the super chat. It was critical in the jury's decision on why they didn't feel she deserved money. They agreed that all this shit happened. They said, we agree, you never abused Rob. We agree the Kardashians did interfere. We agree they did you wrong. But because, and this is the jury foreman, but because you owe the IRS money, we don't feel like we should pay you anything. First of all, now, I know I'm still on first of all, and I'm on my 18th point, but let's keep going, right? Blac Chyna actually made a statement saying, regarding the jury foreman, he is not aware of the numerous reversible legal errors that occurred during the trial. If you guys don't know what a reversible legal error is, there's some errors that happen, but they're irreversible. It happened, we agree it happened, but it really didn't change the outcome of the case. So because of that, we're going to let it slide. And I'm speaking like paraphrasing what it is. An irreversible error might be they entered my name as Tisa with a F, right? Tifa, right? They entered my name as Tifa. The whole time, everybody's referring me to Tifa. Tifa, do you swear? All this stuff. At the end of the trial, you go back and you say, aha, there was an error in the trial. You convicted Tifa tells. I am Tisa tells. So because of that, I want a new trial. They're going to look at you and be like, nah, girl, stop. It was an error, right? It was an error, but it doesn't need to, it's not reversible because even though you are Tisa, not Tifa, it doesn't matter. Everybody knows who you are. We'll just go change the name. You are still guilty. And whatever you're guilty of, you're still going to have to take the punishment. Again, an error was made, but that error had nothing to do with the evidence. Now, let's just say that now the error is I'm Tisa tells, and there's somebody named Tifa tells that has been impersonating me. And I keep saying, but I'm not that. I'm not that. There's a Tifa. I'm not Tifa tells, right? I'm Tisa. And everybody is prosecuting me saying, you're Tifa. And at the end of it, you show all this evidence on why Tifa ate all the cookies. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I am not Tifa. At the end of the trial, even though I have been found guilty, that is a reversible error. Why? Because I am not the person that you were talking about. Why is it reversible? Because had this key component been changed, the outcome of me being convicted for eating the cookies would have been zero because Tifa ate the cookies. The video had Tifa. The evidence had Tifa. I'm not Tifa. That is, right? That is reversible error. Now, let's get into that. Hold on really quick, you guys. Hold on, let me check my messages. Okay. Hey, Becca Smile. Becca Smiley. I think it's Smile. Becca Smile. Congratulations for being a tattletale for 7 months. Congratulations. You guys, listen, I do have my membership. I do a lot of things where I go into detail on my members only, but I let you guys talk. I do this. It's a fun time. And I also have a good time dragging things from the gutter gossip. Because if y'all think my attention to detail is good when it comes to just legal stuff, wait till you see me getting into some gossip on somebody's Instagram feed. You guys, there's 1,112 people in this chat. Can you guys please hit the like button and get me up to 1,000? I would appreciate it. Okay, and my membership is only $4.99. You can cancel at any time. I'm just saying, what do you think? Oh, and also when you sign up for the membership, there's a whole archive of gossip. So if you like gossip, if you like fun times, even if you like legal things, go ahead and hit that. Y'all know what to do. Let's get back into this and how the jury foreman messed up, right? Now get this. The jury was not aware that numerous reversible legal errors occurred during the trial. For example, it should not take the jury 10 hours of deliberations to reach a defense verdict or require 3 additional re-deliberations after reading the verdict. However, the special verdict form adopted by the judge without any due process to the plaintiff was prejudicially confusing, as evidenced by the inordinate time it took the jurors to deliberate to reach a defense verdict, as well as the number of times the judge had to redeliberate after they erroneously thought they correctly completed the special verdict form. Now get this. Let me just read this, tell y'all in layman terms what happened. A lot of times, unscrupulous lawyers will try to get overly complicated jury forms because a lot of times when the jury forms are too complicated, if this, then this, then this, it becomes almost like a Rubik's Cube and the jurors just get tired and they're just like, you know what, let's just, whatever, let's just go with like, no, 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 so we can get out of here. When you get a jury form, the plaintiff and the defendant are both supposed to submit what they think the instructions should look like. Usually the instructions are somewhere in between both parties. And sometimes the judge makes their own instructions. However, the judge literally took all of the questions from Michael Rhodes and didn't take one suggestion from Chyna's side. And does that make it illegal? No. Is it highly, highly weird in a court of law for a judge to do that? Absolutely, especially when the jury instructions are coming from the person who's been accused of doing something guilty. It's like me being like, listen, I'm on trial for murder. I have jury instructions. What's the jury instructions? Did Tisa like pull out the bang bang and like, you know, let that chopper sing? Yeah, but then I make jury instructions. If Tisa was wearing 3 necklaces, a red shirt, mismatched socks, and was sitting with purple cabinets on a Tuesday at 11:38 p.m., you must find no. That is overly complicated because all the jury instruction needs to say is, do you believe Tisa took the bang bang out? Do you believe Tisa let that chopper sing? Do you believe that it was, you know, lights out all over, that it was over for people? Do you agree? That's what it was, right? Now, part of the reason why they motioned, I believe that they motioned that Blac Chyna couldn't talk about her finances. I'm sorry, not Blac Chyna, but Kim and them couldn't talk about their finances, I believe are 2 parts. One, I do believe that the Kardashians are definitely overflated. No, don't get me wrong, they're not broke. They're not working at the Piggly Wiggly, but they're 100% overinflating what their actual assets are. If anybody has access to the MLS in California, go ahead and look at it because property records don't lie. Property records, refinance records, everything that will actually show what a person's actual wealth is does not lie, right? Second of all, one of the lies they kept trying to go was saying that there's no way that Blac Chyna could have amassed a fortune from a reality show. These people, it's kind of like being the #1 draft pick, right? Yeah, you get a great contract for being the #1 draft pick. However, when you're the #1 draft pick, there's a lot of clout that comes with that. There's Wheaties box, there's jerseys, there's sneaker deals. There's a bunch of side deals that come from being the #1 draft pick that someone that's not familiar with sports wouldn't know. Same thing with reality TV. There's so many side deals and side hustles that come from it, and people come to you with those opportunities. That if the Kardashians were forced to show their finances, I think a lot of jurors would have been like, wait, you made this much off of side deals from your reality show? Oh, no. Give her some money because there's definitely money there. But I think a lot of people, even in YouTube, a lot of places, whenever it's social media and people don't realize where the money comes from. So when you're asking someone that just gets a 9 to 5 and a W-2, oh, this and that, they're only looking at, oh, well, like it's only your wages, where it's not that. It's so much more, right? You guys, I only need 69 more likes, please, to get me to 1,000. Y'all help out. So Lynn goes on to say this, right? Judge Alarcon's avoidance of his long time and controlling court clerks, that's Miss Mason. I was the first and only person to report that Miss Mason got fired for gross misconduct and removed from the court. And Lynn was like, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? And Michael Rose was just like, and everybody tried to act like it didn't happen when it was one of the most egregious and ethical things that could have. But it went worse because a lot of people don't know. They think she just asked for autographs. They actually granted the judge's clerk an audience with the Kardashians. And for those that you guys, listen, Legal Eagle, Tattletales, Brim, thank you so much for the super chat. Tisa will be doing, yes, I will be doing real court day updates on Blac Chyna versus the Kardashians. Don't forget to subscribe and set notifications. Thank you so much, Rim. Yes, when that Rob case, I'm breaking that mug apart, right? But here's the thing, right? When it comes to all that, the court clerk, Legal Eagle, Tattletale community, get in there. They are the ones that run the judge's courtroom. Judge Alarcon is known for not knowing the law, but Miss Mason does. They are the ones you never want to get on the court clerk's bad side. A motion might get missed. Things with things. They just make it's what is it equivalent to? It's equivalent to getting on the cook's bad, not even the cook. It's equivalent to getting on the substitute teacher's bad side. It's equivalent to getting on the teacher's bad side. Only the principal can suspend you, but that teacher can make your life hell. The court clerk runs the court. They are almost, if not as powerful as the judge. For a lawyer, you never want to get on the court clerk's bad side. For a court clerk to show bias, to bring her adult daughter in, to literally work out with the opposition attorney in secret, shuttle them up to a secret room, and let your court clerk and her adult daughter take pictures, do whatever side, and all this stuff, you guys, it literally borders on unethical. It would be like you finding out the judge got a gift basket from the Kardashians and he's posting on Instagram eating the grapes. It goes beyond. It goes beyond. Now let's get back into Lynn's statement, all right? Listen, Judge Alarcon's avoidance of his longtime and controlling court clerk's egregious conflict of interest and his abhorrent mishandling of Michael Rowe's unlawful showing of nude pictures of Chyna to her during a key cross-examined testimony are just two of the many blatant judicial errors not properly addressed in the order striking statement of disqualification, right? So Lynn's taking him to task now and being like, you didn't, and that's another thing, when Judge Alarcon literally striked everything for disqualification, he didn't even answer any of the things that Lynn put in her complaint. And she put a lot of mess in her complaint. So it's kind of like me being like, you ate all the cookies. I saw you with cookie crumbs. I baked the cookies. I saw you by the counter. Your tongue was burnt because you ate hot cookies. Answer for your sins. And you're just like, Tisa just be talking. Nope, I ain't eat the cookies. You are supposed to answer each charge line by line by line with an answer on why I am wrong. With an answer on why I am wrong and why what I'm saying cannot be real. Judge Alarcon didn't even bother. This is another reason why this is going to be overturned. But anyway, let's get this, right? That's the Popo calling for Judge Alarcon right now. Emergency! Party of one, Judge Alarcon. That's Lynn. That's Lynn sending the police to body his whole career. I'd be so worried if I was Judge Alarcon. Anyway, right? Now get this. When Judge Alarcon struck out Chyna's, the statement of disqualification. I'll stop calling that because there's a lot of words. When Judge Alarcon struck down Chyna's attempt to get him to get off the case, Judge Alarcon did not give anything as a matter of law. A matter of law is saying this. You say ate the cookies. As a judge, it is your responsibility to cite the law and say legally how what you did was not illegal or how it doesn't look like you said it was. Judge Alarcon didn't bother to do any of that. That's another thing. So even him striking down his qualification, I understand it got like that one off for TMZ. You little hit that verse and Kim was like, I love this song. Turn it up. However, you ended up scoring yourself over in the long run because when this is reviewed by the California Superior Court within a year, the California Court of Appeals within a year, this will all get overturned. I'm sure by that time, the Kardashians will hope nobody's paying attention, but you know I will be, right? An unbiased judge would have allowed another Los Angeles Superior Court judge to review Chyna's statement, Chyna's request to have him removed from the trial and decide for themselves whether Judge Alarcon should have been removed from the case. Instead, the biased Judge Alarcon ruled that he is not biased. There be taking away Chyna's justice from the beginning. Again, you guys need to understand how sick this is. You need to understand how sick this is. That he ruled, I'm not biased, and threw everything out when he didn't even have the power as a judge legally to do that. And the fact that TMZ and Radar Online and all these press outlets ran with this BS, y'all, it should actually scare you. Whether or not you agree with Chyna, whether you think she deserves money, whether you even think she has a case or whatever, the fact that a judge is trampling over someone's constitutional rights, for what reason, I don't know. Can I say that he's bribed? I have no proof of that. Can I say he's corrupt? I have no proof of that. Can I say that at the very least, he does not seem to have a basic understanding of the California legal system? Yes. Of the California Civil Code? Yes. I will agree with that. I will allow that. He does not. But whether or not you even believe in what Chyna's case is, you don't need to. See, I like to take a step back, and it doesn't matter what's at odds. My worst enemy can be on trial. And it's fine to see people you don't like literally mistreated. And you're like, yeah, throw them in jail forever. But what's going to happen when they come and knock on your door? And now they want to do the same BS to you. Rules and law matter. The practical application of law matters. The law is a living, breathing thing, of course, but it is within a nexus of probability. You cannot allow the rule of law to go under for any reason, because once it starts, it disintegrates very, very quickly. We just went through that. Well, let me not bring up politics, but whatever. The rule of law must stand. And it doesn't matter whether Chyna had a case or not. It doesn't even matter whether, I'll be honest with you, her request, her motion for disqualification had merit or not. At the end of the day, the way that you disqualified it was illegal. And that cannot stand. Everybody must have their due process. Everybody must have it just can't stand. It can't stand. So anyway, let me get through this. Here we go. It was unethical. It was a violation of law. Now get this. Moreover, this is just so. The judge's avoidance of his longtime white tour. Also, Judge Alarcon's claim that it was his court clerk who acted unlawfully, not him, when he did nothing to explain what happened with the court clerk to plaintiff's counsel, investigate defendant's counsel's involvement in his court clerk's unlawful conduct, or take any responsibility whatsoever for his court clerk's misconduct when he was her direct supervisor, would be laughable if it wasn't such a stunningly blatant violation of the law. If it wasn't such a stunning violation of the law. Judge Alarcon didn't permit the presiding judge or a different judge to rule on plaintiff's comprehensive and meritorious statement. Meritorious just means meritorious means it has weight to it. There is fact in there, and it's fact that can't be ignored. I'm not just speaking in hyperbole. I'm not just making strawman arguments. I'm not saying whatever. I'm saying this actually happened, and it needs to be addressed, right? It literally was a violation of California Civil Code Procedure Section 170.3. As a result, Judge Alarcon committed yet another reversible legal error by doing that. This is already. Now get this. Chyna is now being forced to file a mandate with the Second District Court of Appeal to ensure that she receives a fair trial for her revenge P claim against Rob Kardashian by removing Judge Alarcon from that case. Now, mind you, the case is going to go along on regular time. When this mandate, if it is granted, it doesn't matter if it's a year from now. They will overturn the case, and it's going to have to be retried again. They will overturn the case, and it will have to be retried again. There is no, and again, I know nobody in the gossip line wants to talk about that because it's not juicy, it's not sexy, it's not salacious. But again, what happens with the TMZs of the world, what happens with the Tisa Tells channel, what happens with whatever, that is not analogous to what happens in the court of law. The court of law is in its own schedule, and there is no time limit on justice being served. I mean, unless you're past the statute of limitations, but that's not going to be an issue because the statute of limitation always starts to toll when the necessary paperwork is filed, and it has been filed. So there is no time limit on justice. Hey, 50 is fabulous. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys, also, there's 1,066 people in here. If you guys could hit that like button, I would appreciate it so I could grow. Now, let's get into this, right? Moreover, the writ of mandate will request that Judge Alarcon also be removed from being able to rule on any post-judgment motions in the defamation and intentional interference with contractual relations case against Kris Jenner, Kim Kardashian, Khloe Kardashian, Kylie Jenner. Yo, Blac Chyna found a glitch in the matrix. She literally not only is trying to make sure that Chyna gets Judge Alarcon removed from Rob's case, and I do believe that he should be removed just because he's an F. He's an incompetent. He's just like a mess, right? But she also wants to make sure that when he is removed, he is not allowed to rule on anything post-ruling when it comes to the Kardashian case. Yo, Blac Chyna found a glitch in the matrix. He found a glitch in the matrix. Now, let's get into a few things. Where are we? Where are we at? It's been an hour, or is it 39 minutes? I think it's an hour. Okay, let me get this out really quick, and then we can go, because there's so much to do. I'll have to do this in another live, but let me just get through this stuff, right? Okay, hold on. Okay, so get this. After lunch break on April 19, 2022 at approximately 1:30 p.m., Mr. Rhodes, the Kardashian attorney, hey, Sharon Mogan, thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you so much, Sharon. I appreciate you, mama. Okay, so Michael Rhodes, the Kardashian attorney, came running over to where Chyna and Blac Chyna were sitting. And within an inch of Lynn's face, tells me your client's mother was making death threats against Judge Alarcon during a live stream on social media. He then showed me a cell phone which purported to have a transcript of Tokyo Tony's death threat against a Judge Alarcon, right? She said something along the lines of, I'm going to get that judge. Now, I have to say this, right? Why did Tony do that? Because honestly, in Lynn's complaint that I'm reading from, that was the beginning. She said that they started off the trial and it seemed like it's whatever. After Tony did that thing and issued a thing, she said Judge Alarcon's attitude became noticeably hostile and mean and stuff toward her. Now, I'm not going to put this on Tokyo Tony, because if that judge had any ethics, that wouldn't have been enough. And you still would have been biased, because what does what Chyna's mom does have to do with you? Seriously, we are not accountable for the sins of our mothers or fathers. Do you see what I'm saying? But I will say this. I feel like from the beginning, Judge Alarcon was starstruck and he was looking for a reason. And I honestly do feel like by Tony doing that, they gave him that reason. He gave him the excuse. You know, somebody's just looking for a reason not to like you. And then you knock something over. You're like, hey, sorry, I'm late. And they're just like, that's why I don't like you. Because they were sitting on ready, looking for an excuse to let that chopper sing. You know, hey, young bubbles, what's going on? Okay, so let's get into the Tokyo Tony. Lynn is actually, this is the actual motion. I will put it on the screen, but y'all, people like to steal my content so much. No, y'all want these documents, you're going to have to work for them, but I will read the documents. Lynn is recounting right now. Remember how TMZ and all these places said, this is frivolous. She didn't even put anything in her motion. She was just saying this. She didn't have any legal grounds. Well, I'm reading the legal grounds she actually put in, which is directly in opposite and exposing everybody for lying and going with a false narrative. But what else is true? So this is how it all went down, right? She said, I am informed. So this is Lynn talking, because I'm reading directly from her documents, right? And when you read the documents that were submitted to court, it's all in first person. She said, Lynn says, I informed the Kardashian attorney that I made sure my client's mother was not in the courtroom, and that I, of course, found these threats to be horrific and beyond acceptable conduct. I further informed them that my client's mother had a history of lashing out on social media, including against her own daughter, my client, and in favor of the defendants and their son and brother, Rob Kardashian. Do y'all remember that? When she was literally working with Rob Kardashian against Chyna? Do y'all remember that? So Lynn brought that up in court, being like, listen, you can't say because my client's mom has a history of lashing out on social media, even against her own daughter. So why are we going to act like Chyna is like the ringmaster holding it? She's not, right? Lynn goes on to say in paragraph 10, after my conversation with Mr. Rhodes concluded, I noticed that at least 2 law enforcement personnel, who I later learned were FBI agents, went into Judge Alarcon's chambers. The FBI agents left the judge's chambers shortly after they entered. At no time did Judge Alarcon inform me or discuss with me the impact of Chyna's mother alleged threats against him and the 4 defendants on his ability to remain fair and impartial to me and Chyna. Now, I am paraphrasing. She's saying plaintiff. I'm saying Chyna, right? But this is actually really, really important because one of the defenses Judge Alarcon could bring up is, well, my demeanor was because I felt like my life was threatened. To which Lynn is saying, if you thought there was a real threat or if this bothers you, why did you not bring it up to me? Why did you not bring it up to my client? If you thought that your change in demeanor was because that my client was commanding her mother to do this, why didn't you speak directly to us? Why did you keep it such a secret? You kept it such a secret because that wasn't really the reason. You were just looking for one, right? She was like, Jocelyn, what was the reason? What was the reason? Anyway, paragraph 11. However, during the alleged death threats by Chyna's mother, the Kardashian attorney name dropping Mark Zuckerberg, I noticed a further denigration in Judge Alarcon's attitude and treatment of me in the courtroom during the afternoon session on April 19th. His tone and demeanor towards me became remarkably disrespectful and dismissive. In stark contrast, Judge Alarcon's tone and demeanor towards Mr. Rhodes, the Kardashian attorney, became increasingly respectful and even deferential. So much so that when I objected to the Kardashian attorney's cross-examination of my plaintiff, of Chyna, regarding her mother's alleged threats made on social media, Judge Alarcon quickly overruled my objection and permitted the highly prejudicial line of questioning to continue. Although Chyna is certainly not her mother's keeper, Judge Alarcon permitted the jury to hear questions and testimony that an impartial and unbiased judge certainly would have excluded on 350 or 352 grounds. Those grounds are, if the testimony has nothing to do with what the jury's decision is or what the jury's verdict should be, has nothing to do with what the jury is being tasked to say, the jury is not allowed to hear it. If Chyna is suing the Kardashians and Chyna's mother makes a death threat for the judge, what does Chyna's mother's death threat on the judge have to do with whether the Kardashians screwed over Chyna or not? That is a new thing. That is a new case. That is something the judge handles separately. Why did you allow the jury to hear that? Because all it's going to do is have the jury literally form some type of bias against the plaintiff. What the judge should have done is told the jury to go back into the jury room and literally had the discussions about what was going on and even the questioning that Michael Rhodes was doing to Chyna about her mother's conduct. The jury shouldn't have been allowed to hear that. It just shouldn't have. It just shouldn't have. Now, let's get into this also, right? Hold on. I think I fell in love with you and I know my job. I don't know why that song popped in my head. And I know my time is in it. I think I fell in. Okay, I'll stop. Okay, now let's get off. You got to understand, for someone with ADHD, this is like, do you know how much I love you guys and I'm even able to stay on topic this long? My mind is going crazy. I'm thinking of 18 things right now, including the bubble tea I'm going to order, probably while I'm on live. I think I fell in love with you and I know my... Okay, I'll focus. God, I hear y'all yelling at me now, right? Oh, get this. Following the off the record in a chambers meeting, Judge Alarcon began making highly questionable and uneven evidentiary rulings in defendant's favor. For example, Lynn's strong objection to defendant's use of opening statement demonstrative slide of unauthenticated and highly inflammatory text messages, right, allegedly sent by Chyna. Chyna said she didn't do it, as embedded in a non-party's text message thread, was overruled. Judge Alarcon even let the jury see and let the Kardashian attorney present evidence that wasn't even verified to be real. Literally a sneak attack. This is so unethical, right? The judge then ruled that Lynn was not permitted to show certain video footage that could not be authenticated until trial. Judge Alarcon also permitted defense counsel to show highly prejudicial I knew my tongue could do it, right? Exhibit in its opening statement that falsely made it appear that Chyna had not complied with discovery obligations regarding her financial records, right? She also said, the next event that destroyed any notion of my client will receive a fair trial in Judge Alarcon's courtroom involved Miss Mason. Everyone in the courtroom respected Miss Mason as a tight ship she ran in Department 96. That's Judge Alarcon's courtroom. Miss Mason had shared with both lead counsel during the motion of in limine jury instructions. So Miss Mason was talking to both of them, literally giving them advice on what jurors they thought they should pick. This is how much control and power that Miss Mason had. And they all took Miss Mason's suggestions. Now, why would they do that? Looking back in hindsight, was that the smartest thing for Lynn to do? No. But just like Michael Rhodes went along with it, you do not want to get on the judge's clerk's bad side. You just don't. You just don't. You just don't. Trust me on this, right? Now get this, right? Okay. Let's skip to the juicy part. During the afternoon, let's also not forget that in this ruling, she talks about how when they were in their chambers, all Judge Alarcon could do was fangirl the Kardashians' attorney because he was representing Michael Zuckerberg. And Judge Alarcon, the case had nothing to do with their case. He literally called both counselors in, and Lynn was just sitting there while he was like, tell me more about the case, and fangirling over the fact that Michael Rhodes was on a case with Mark Zuckerberg. Yo, Judge Alarcon is a groupie, in my humble opinion. This is all my opinion, but in my humble opinion. Now get this, right? During okay, so get this. For example, in ex parte hearings, those are hearings that happen outside of the trial, right? Usually the jury is not around. Hold on, I lost my thing. And voir dire, right? Miss Mason had informed lead counsel that a particular prospective juror was being too talkative and too interactive with others in the hallway that she recommended, based on her vast experience with voir dire, right, that lead counsel stipulate in advance to having this particular prospective juror removed from the jury pool. Knowing the amount of power that Miss Mason wielded in Judge Alarcon's courtroom and trusting Miss Mason's impartiality, Chyna's lawyer agreed, along with Michael Rhodes, to remove this prospective juror from the jury pool, sight unseen. Now, they can play around and be like, okay, well, that was your dumbness. You shouldn't have done it. But this just goes to show how much power that Miss Mason had, that both attorneys hadn't seen a juror. But Miss Mason was like, I don't like them. They talk too much. You shouldn't have them in the thing. And both attorneys agreed to not even see that juror and to strike them, because neither one of them wanted to take the risk of saying, we want the juror, meeting the juror and saying they want the juror. Voir dire, if you don't know, if you don't know, is when basically they pick out the jury. It's a pool of people. They ask the people questions. If you like the way they answer, you say, okay, I want them, I want them, I want them. Each person gets a certain amount of jurors they can pick, and each person gets to strike a certain amount of jurors from the other side, right? So they're basically picking the jury. The fact that both of them, sight unseen, this juror, too talkative, but you want a talkative juror, because talkative jurors are able to persuade other juries. Like if I was in it, you wouldn't want me on the jury, because I'd be like, girl, did you see? I would be going through, you wouldn't want me on the jury, but if I was against you, you won't want me stricken. The fact that they literally took somebody that could have been potentially an asset and struck them out sight unseen just off of Mrs. Mason's word shows her power. It also shows, don't forget, you get a limited number of strikes too, if I didn't say it before. So you just can't be like Battleship. Nope. You only get a certain amount of strikes. And once you use them, you're out. And so let's just say you use all your strikes and I still have like 3 jury selections there. Because you've used all your strikes, that means that my next 3 picks, even if they're just like, death to you, long live Queen Tisa. Matter of fact, she's our king. Y'all can't do anything about it. Those jurors get to be allowed on, right? It's a little game attorneys play, but y'all get my point, right? That's how powerful Miss Mason was, right? That's how powerful Miss Mason was, right? Now, during the afternoon break on April 20th, I noticed that the Kardashian attorney was speaking with Miss Mason for an unusually long time. I'd already formed the opinion that Miss Mason was acting unprofessionally with the Kardashian lawyer by acting too chummy and overly friendly with them. However, I had to pick my battles, and I decided that this was not worth raising the interactions on the issue. This is from paragraph 13 of the official court documents filed. If you're wondering why this is read like a narrative, all good lawyers, you write your motions, you write your briefs, you write whatever. In common talk, you separate it by different points, different paragraphs, making your point. But it's read in first person. And the one thing you want from good legal writing is you actually want it to be engaging, because you want people to actually read your stuff instead of just being like, oh my God, get to the point, right? Now get this, right? However, this particular ex-party communication between Miss Mason and the Kardashian lawyer was lasting too long for me to ignore. Ex-party means that is separate from all the parties being involved. So now that she's having a conversation with the Kardashian attorney, the judge isn't involved, Lynn's not involved, right? That's ex-party. Ex-party conversations shouldn't happen unless the judge sanctions it, and it should only be either in front of the judge's judge's bench with the lawyers, with the jury, either in their jury room or it's in the judge's chambers. Do you see what I'm saying? Because you don't want it to color anything. But let's go on, right? However, she said, when I approached Miss Mason and the Kardashian lawyer to find out what they were discussing, Miss Mason unabashedly and even giddily informed me that she was asking Mike, that's what she called him, Mike, and she was asking Mike if her adult daughter could meet the defendants in a private meeting, because her daughter was a huge fan of the Kardashians. Lynn said, I was stunned at the audacity of Miss Mason to act so openly biased in favor of the Kardashian-Jenner defendants in front of me. In front of me. I am Blac Chyna's counsel. She literally was like, I'm opposing counsel, and you are doing something abashedly unethical in front of me. It's not over, right? And the blatant and egregious conflict of interest on full display by Miss Mason. Now, the Kardashian lawyer was smiling and acting very accommodating toward Miss Mason's highly unethical and improper requests. Not knowing how to react, Lynn jokingly said, oh, doesn't your daughter want to meet my client? Miss Mason hesitated and said, oh, yeah, she wants to meet her too. However, following the interaction, I never heard from Miss Mason. I left the conversation to prepare for the remainder of the trial that day before the jury came back into the courtroom. Now get this. When the jury entered the courtroom after the afternoon break, I saw one particular juror with the same demographic as Miss Mason's adult daughter. We haven't figured out if that juror actually was Miss Mason's adult daughter. I doubt it, but let's just go on, right? Hold on. What? Oh. Lily just sent me the most beautiful picture. Okay, let me get back to work. Sorry. Where's she at? Lily just sent me this picture. You guys follow the Red Lipstick Hustler on Instagram. Lily's so beautiful. And Nyack was one of the sponsors. Okay, thank you. Nyack is making moves. Okay, let me get back to work. Sorry. I know I'm off topic. Shut up. I hear y'all screaming at me in my head. Okay, so listen, right? Okay, right? One of the jurors came back with a huge smile at the defendants. this is the Kardashians, who were standing in the first row behind the defense counsel's table. The same juror then walked past Chyna without even looking at her. Ms. Mason had consistently lectured everyone in the courtroom during voir dire and after voir dire that critical importance of being poker face and not showing any bias or favoritism toward one party over the other. Her admonition was especially critical. Why can't I talk today? Jesus, was especially critical in this case due to the Kardashians arguably being the most famous family on the planet. After what I had witnessed during the afternoon break and during the jury's entry into the courtroom after the break, however, it was clear that Ms. Mason had failed to follow her own guidelines and explicit instructions to refrain from even appearing to be biased in favor of one side of the case over the other. It's not over, right? She said the morning of April 21st, I entered the courtroom and learned that Ms. Mason was no longer the court clerk for the trial. She had been replaced by Michelle, a supervisory person with the Los Angeles Superior Court and former court clerk with 30 years experience. Now, I do want to say this, right? Ms. Mason and the way she acted, it might not be anything to like you guys, but I will say that Ms. Mason and the way she acted, that could actually be career ending. She literally could actually be let go from the court for that. The courts take this super seriously. You cannot be biased. Why? Because when you are, even if we assign you to a different courtroom, you're still going to wonder, is Miss Mason going to do the same thing? You must always, it's like once you find out a cop's dirty, you can't transfer them to a different precinct. I mean, I know they do all the time, but you can't transfer them to a different precinct. They need to be let go because after that, how can they ever trust you to be honest? You know, we also training day. We know what happens with the orale vatos and like setting people up and getting them smoking swerm. And before you know it, you waking up at bathtubs with chainsaws around you. We saw training day, and it all starts from that little bit of dishonesty where he was like, here, smoke that spliff. And he was like, no, it's illegal to smoke drugs. And he was like, no, smoke that spliff. And from that pandemonium, we saw training day. We know with just a little bit misconduct leads you down that road. Hey, classy, listen. Hey, classy hair, classy white hair, Liz Pollard. What's going on? Thank you so much for the super chat. But again, y'all saw training day. Y'all know why I can't do, right? Now listen, where are we on? Oh, okay. I was not told by Michelle nor by the Judge Alarcon why Miss Mason had been removed from the courtroom. I found out that evening, so Judge Alarcon tried to cover this up. Because why did he try to cover this up? I'll tell you guys just because I just finished saying it. Because he knew that her thing with the Kardashians and getting a private audience, we're going to get into that, that is a career-ending mistake. He was trying to save that girl's job. He was trying to save his court clerk's job so she could still work with them. Now ask me, if you are fine with her doing something so egregious, I ask of you, what's to stop you from doing this some more? Do you know what I'm saying? Let's get into this, right? Anyway, right? It was also rumored upon information and belief that Miss Mason and her adult daughter secured autographs and photographs with the defendants. You guys, there's so much more in this complaint. We don't have to do a part 2 because I'm hungry. And because you guys bought me dinner, I'm gonna literally pop them tags, right? Pop them. What's that girl's name from Jay Needles' page? Tequila. Pop them tags on DoorDash. Y'all, I'm about to pop these tags on DoorDash. Thank you so much for the super chats, right? I'm going to literally thank you so much for the super chat, you guys. I'm going to have to do this in a part 2 because it's already an hour and 43 minutes, whatever it is. But you guys, I'm going to have a part 2. Don't worry, Lynn is on it. She is going to be held accountable. The writ of mandate of all this stuff is being filed probably sometime this week. But I just want you guys to know, no matter what you read, no matter what you see, please keep this in mind because it's so important to know. Justice does not run like a YouTube page. It doesn't run like a blog. Justice will be served and justice is fair. We know in America, justice is not swift. It could take up to a year to get this mess overturned. A year, okay? At the very least, we are looking at a few months. Don't worry. It seems like Blac Chyna's attorney's on it, but until then, don't listen to the Kardashians, TMZ, all this stuff talking about it's over, you lost. Nothing's over. It's literally like halftime in the game. It's halftime in the game and a new game. It's halftime in the football game, and a basketball game between Rob and Chyna are about to start. And that's not even in the first quarter. I will be literally handling. Chocolate Padilla, thank you so much for getting me dessert, mama. Thank you, Chocolate Padilla. But you know what? It is. Listen, sometimes it takes decades in a Netflix special. You're funny. Listen, it will take, for it to be a mandate to be overturned, it could be up to a year. It will at least be a few months. Don't worry. I am going to be covering Rob and Chyna's trial, which is starting, and I'm going to do a part 2. Either that or I'll make a few videos that'll be easier for you guys to digest with everything else that is in these actual court documents. And these are an exclusive. You are not going to find them anywhere else. That's why I didn't put them on the screen, because y'all not screenshotting and taking them from me unless y'all want to give me credit. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you guys later, all right? Bye.